Don't you just love how when one thing goes wrong, everything seems to go wrong all at the same time? Yes, I've had an absolute... Oh, computer's bleeping at me. Had an absolute mare of a morning this morning in terms of eBay. I've had £300 worth of orders this morning though, or sorry, £292 worth of orders this morning already, and it is only 10:13 AM. However, I've received a negative for something that is not my fault, and I'll go into that in just a second. And also I've had a parcel that has not been picked up or seems to have gone lost since Wednesday. Had a case open this morning saying I still want my item. It was for that bulwark, I don't know if you remember from last week, the exercise machine. It was dropped off on Tuesday and the last scan was Wednesday saying that they couldn't pick it up for some reason. I obviously didn't know about this until the case was open because I can't check all my tracking to make sure things have moved. I've gone down to the parcel drop off this morning as soon as they open to check if it's still there, which it is not. So I am in contact with the customer. I've opened a lost case. What I think has happened, because all my other parcels at that point that were dropped off have gone, fingers crossed, I've only checked a few of them. I think what's happened is he thinks he's scanned it and he's put it in his basket, took it into the van, taken it or whatever. And then the next day it's told him that he needs to come pick it up, at which point he's like, it's not here. So he's marked it as can't pick it up because it's not here, but it's already on its way somewhere to be scanned in somewhere else, hopefully. That is what I think's happened. However, it could be lost or stolen or whatever, I don't know. So the case has been opened. So fingers crossed that resolves itself in a day or so. However, the negative feedback is infuriating. So it was a return case for a kettle. It got a little bit damaged in post, or I think they've dropped it, to be honest, but they say it's leaking. Anyway, it came back. I don't really see the leak, but anyway, they say it's leaking. So I've gone to do the refund this morning on my phone at home, and there's an error. There's something wrong with eBay's system, which I now find out is a issue that they've been dealing with for a while. So if you're having issues refunding, call them up. So I just said, can you do the refund for me and then get rid of the defect? Because if they initiate a refund on your behalf, it goes down as you didn't do the refund, so you instantly get a defect. So that got sorted out. About 8:22 this morning, the refund went through to the customer. When I was in the mall sorting out the lost parcel, I get an email from the customer for the kettle saying, I've not had a refund yet. Can you issue it, or can you let me know what's going on? So I obviously replied, oh, there was an issue this morning. eBay have done the refund. It should have come through to you, so they should have already had an email. If it's not come through by 12, let me know again and I'll ring up eBay. At which point, I check my account over and then I noticed that my feedback percentage has gone down. I was like, that's strange. I must have got like a negative or something. What's that for? So I click on it and it's the same customer. Literally 2 minutes after I reply back saying you've been refunded, it's on the way, not an issue, just, you know, make sure that you get the email, whatever. They've left a negative, have not been refunded as of blah 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 day, just a negative. So now I'm dealing with that. So I phoned up eBay again. I said, look, you guys did the refund for me. This negative feedback is obviously not accurate. Can you sort it out? So they are being pretty fair at the moment. I've not got a resolution. I had to go in and do a system feedback removal first, which obviously never gets accepted because it's an AI robot or whatever. Automatically pretty much denies all of them, and they said once that happens, just call back and we'll try and sort it out, because we obviously can see we've done the refund, they've left the negative after the fact. Yes, their money won't be back in their account yet, but they should have had an email from eBay saying it's coming back by the point they left the negative. So I am technically in the right, even though they're not 100% sure whether they technically can remove that negative. So yeah, I still have to deal with that this morning. But fingers crossed they will see that I have not done anything wrong. I have actively tried to refund the customer. I got them refunded and then they still left a negative about the refund. So It's 50-50. I'm erring on the side of caution with this one because I know how bad they can be with removals at some points. So yeah, I'm just going to go with I've got a negative and deal with it. And if it gets removed, perfect. If not, it's whatever. It's part of parcel of business, isn't it? At the end of the day, as frustrating as it is, I got to now move on, get on with my day. Right, just before we start the rest of the video, I want to jump in real quick and talk about this. Since I did my packing video last week, a lot of people have been asking me what supplies I've been using for boxes, parcels, tape, all that good stuff. I didn't have answers for them because obviously I get a lot of my stuff wholesale, so it wasn't really helpful. So I spent an entire day compiling a list. Yes, this is a full list basically of everything you could need as a reseller, and I have found Amazon links for every single thing on here. So from tape to poly mailers to stuff you need for packing like scissors, tape guns, shelving units, bubble wrap, void fill, basically anything you can think of, pink stuff, solution for getting rid of lime scale, all of that is in this. Where can you find these links? They're all going to be underneath the videos going forward, so you can just go there, have a scroll through, see if any of the stuff you need. I've tried my best to pick the items on Amazon that have the best reviews and obviously best price for what they are and stuff like that. If anything's missing, just give me a shout and I'll try and add it onto this list going forward. It is a work in progress, however I think I've got 99% of the stuff on there, so have a little look. You might find something you need or you've been looking for, and yeah, keep me updated. If you get any of it and it turns out to be junk or no good, do let me know because I'll swap it out on that list and just return it to Amazon. Of course, they allow you to do that. So if something turns out to be bad, just send it back and let me know, and I'll swap it out real quick on the list because, like I said, it took me a whole day. So by the end of it, my brain was kind of like a little bit fried, but fingers crossed it's all good. So it's all down there. Go have a look, and that might help you out. Right, back to the video. So I have 31 parcels to pick, and I'm not going to do all of them in today's video because I'm not going to be packing that many. So I'm going to do the first 20, and yeah, we're going to get on with that. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the packing video, by the way. That went out on Wednesday or Thursday, I believe. I think 2,000 and something people have seen it. So obviously half the amount of people that would watch a normal office video, and then like a quarter or less or what would watch the Carboot videos. So not as many people clicked it, but maybe because it was the first one, or they didn't know what it was, or the title was bad or something. But that's to be expected. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It might be something you're interested in watching. It might not be. It's not a problem. Let me know. I'm going to do a few more and see what happens, because sometimes it takes a while for people to realize that they actually enjoy watching that. So yeah, we'll find out. But there was one other thing I was going to say. What was it? I can't remember. Anyway, we'll move on. We're going to do some parcel picking, and I will film obviously some packing today as well, which will go out at some point this week. So let's just get straight into it. I've got 50% battery, so I need to crack through this real quick. So yeah, let's just turn around the camera and pick some orders, shall we? Right, it says I've got 17 folio books on top shelf. However, I don't think they are on top shelf. I don't actually know where these are. So they might be in like a box on top shelf, and I just don't remember putting it up there. Let's close this down, it's in my way. I've got so much stuff, guys, look. Look, it's just like in the middle of the room. Crazy. So that's fun. 17 folio books. Maybe they're in here. No? I don't know what's in that box. Here we are. Oh god, that is heavy. Okay. I'm gonna have to do an edit in this video because I'm gonna put you down first. Note to self, never sell 17 folio books in one go because it's heavy. There we go. So I paid £10, I believe, for that lot, and unfortunately they weren't great. They sold for 20. I took an offer to get rid of them because the same guy kept sending the same offer over and over again every single week, and I was like, you know what, just take them because you're doing my head in. And to be honest, they were taking up loads of room on the shelf. So yeah, 20 quid, nothing spectacular. Probably broke even at the end of the day on those, if I'm honest. So there we go. You can't win them all. Right, Matsui shelf. I'm looking for some books. Here we go. So this is the history of the decline and fall of the Roman Empire. Books 1 through to 4. I believe there's another 4 that you can get. Yep. I think I paid a couple of quid for that a few weeks ago, and that sold also for £20. Right, we got a Funko Pop on AirFry. This is the second one of these that I've sold, and I think that might be the last one of these actually. Maybe I have one more. Nope, it's the last one. Here we are. So this is Jujutsu. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Kaizen Mojito. 1115 is the number on that one, and that sold for £6.99. And then for £87.50 we have sold a MLE Cat Dog 003. It's actually this one right here. No, that's 009. Maybe I misread. Let me go check. I do have dyslexia, which seems to affect my ability to read numbers as well. It is 009. I thought it was. Okay. So it was this one. And let me grab the pole first. So this one is a nice easy one to pack, so happy with that. Also, Johnny has come into the office this morning because he needs to pick up a roll of my paper, and we're going to go do a little box run, I think, and also go to the skip because we both have some stuff that needs to go to the dump, because I have a wooden board. It's outside, I can't show you, but my old photo area, you know, that big white board I had of the wood, I need to get rid of that, so that's going. But it is too long to fit in the car, so I asked him to bring a saw so I can cut it in half. So whether he does that or not, I don't know. Right, so that sold for £87.50, which is nice. And then in B we have a book, My Hero Academia. This only sold for £2 something or other, but it's it came as a big bundle of books, and this is just one of them. So although I probably only made 50p on this, it's going out, so it's taking up no more room in my office. Right, then we have a Tour de France shirt in 171. So let's have a look. I got all these air rams down here. A lot of these, I think, to be honest, a lot of these, if not all of these, are for parts. Because one or more piece of each one is kind of like a little bit too loud, or the roller's not working, so they're all getting parted out. And then I sold all the batteries because the batteries work. And I don't know why I'm moving these over, because I need to get into this bucket, not the shoe bucket. So 117 should be in here, I hope. And it's not, but I can see it, it's there. 143. So I will double check that that is what it is, because that is also a Tour de France shirt. That is not what it is. Okay, this is not the correct one. Where has the correct one gone? That is the question, because it's not in here. That was only for like, how much was that for? £10, so it's not the end of the world. Right, on AirFry we have sold a printer for £30, a little label printer. I still have so much stuff on the shelf I need to get through. Honestly, I'm so slow. Here we are. Brother printer with all the cables. That's good. Let's not drop anything. I can't remember what I paid for this. Cannot remember for the life of me. I don't, to be honest, even remember buying this. So there's always that. And then in V, we have sold an Espresso Milk frother for 42. This is the second time this is sold. The first time I dispatched it, and the second it was dispatched, they sent a message saying, I don't want this anymore. Can you cancel it? And I said, well, no, it's already dispatched. You'll have to return it. So, to be fair to them, they didn't even open the package. They just sent it straight back, so I could relist it straight away, which is good. I did double check that it still works and all that. It wasn't swapped out or anything. So, yeah, second time's the charm. Right. BenQ, we sold an all Akili jug for 35. Now I paid £40 for 6 of these. So I have got £35 back for the first one. There's another 2 there, and then I've got more over here somewhere. There's another one there. There is another couple somewhere else, but yes, this one has gone out for 35, which is fantastic, because that means I'm nearly in the profit, or basically I'll be profiting as soon as the next one sells. Right, vacuum shelf, £120. We've sold a SIBO, the big one. This big chunky down here, 120. So Johnny had pretty much the exact same version of this, but he had the bigger industrialized head. So see this poking out down there? It was like all the way out to like there, and he just sold his as well. I think he got 170 on his one, but it was a more higher rated machine, I believe, just because it was wider. I guess if you're doing like hospitals or something and you need the wider head to be able to do all the corridors and stuff. So yeah, but 120, they paid £10 postage as well. That is a beast. It weighs a ton. So yeah, I was happy with that. Right, tag 001, we've sold a Magimix. I believe I've actually sold 2 of these. Another one sold this morning, and look at that, I just got another one in stock, which is on the floor, and I believe there's another one here. So yes, 1 sells, 2 come in. Right, now is this 001, or that doesn't have a tag on it, so that is not 001. Here is 001. So let's move kettle out of the way, and let's move lamp out of the way. Gotta be careful with these, because if you pick them up with the handle and they're not on there properly, the base that weighs an absolute ton will fall off and land on your foot, like it did to me at the car boot. And hopefully you'll be lucky not to break anything like me, but let me tell you, it hurt a lot. And even though it didn't break anything, thankfully, it was probably pretty darn close to doing so. I got very lucky, because let me show you how much this weighs. And bear in mind, when it dropped, it was like up here. So if I can take this off somehow. Sometimes you have to take the blade out to deactivate the bucket. There you go. Put this on the scale. I had 5.55 kilos land on my foot, and somehow it didn't break. Miracle, absolute miracle. I saw it fall in slow motion straight onto my foot, but there we go, didn't break anything, so thankful for that. Right, we've actually sold two brother, one's a Dymo in S and one's a brother, 17 and 28 pound respectively. So let's do that. SSSS. Here we go. Bill. That sold for 17. And then D1, I think it was the brother one, which is actually still in a box, brand new. Here we are. And I paid £5 for that one, and that sold for 20. What was it? 27.99 on that one. Right, then in AirFry, I have sold a book, which is a cookbook. Where did I put the base? Oh, it's still here. Let's put that on there. So this is like the cookbook to end all cookbooks, apparently, according to Gordon Ramsay. Here it is. It's called the Larus Gastronomique. But there we go. Look at that. Heston Blumenthal, the definitive culinary reference Bible. A must for anyone remotely interested in food and cooking. And then Gordon Ramsay, the first recipe book I took seriously, a great resource throughout my career. So it must be good. Or they're just gassing up the author, I don't know, one of the two. Make your mind up. But I got £35 for it, so I don't care. I made my money. Oh, train's going past. Whoop whoop. Okay, right, T1, we have a GTech air ram head. Needs a little bit of a clean up before I post that out, but this does work. Okay, so I have boxes everywhere, as you guys can see right now. That's not great. Maybe I don't need any more boxes. I do, I always need boxes. So these ones that were on the floor down here, they've all been used and put away. This was just some extras that I picked up the other day. Right, Matsui, £38.50. We sold a Panasonic, which is funny because I just got the exact same one in stock. I don't know why it sold for so little amount of money, but there we go. The same one. Matsui shelf, right, so one goes out, one comes in. That is perfect. That's exactly what we want. Look, I've got another mixer there. I've got these mixers absolutely everywhere. Panasonic SD 2500. Good condition actually, look at that. And just double check there is a blade in there, that's good. Let's take this back over. Right, that's a nice easy one to ship. You just literally just need a big box for that. Right, BenQ, we sold an Alba TV. Now let me check if this has a remote. It does not. Getting my steps in this morning, guys, as you can see, up and down, up and down. Look at these I got yesterday. £2 I paid for these. Nike, total 90. Pretty cool. Right, getting distracted. Right, I'm looking for a TV. I think it's this one. Wow, look at all this room on the shelf. I like it. I like it. Move this stuff over. Alba TV, here we go. Boom. Just like that. Right. I'm just going to double check that's the right one before I send it off. Yeah, that's definitely the right one. Right, £17.50 in Z. We've sold another one of these boutique-y little rollers. Boutique bag, or whatever it's called. Texture Boutique by Sizzix. So this is like a die cutter machine, but just like a very basic, almost childy one. And I get those for a couple quid when I see them, so they're a nice little seller. Right, a fan. £25. And this is the reason why this shelf is called the fan shelf, because this was the first item on the shelf, and it is a fan or a blower, whatever you want to call it. I was going to call the shelf a blower shelf, but I thought that sounded a bit more strange and weird, so I went with fan. But here we are, the fan in question. So this is for bouncy castles and other blow-upable equipment, I suppose. And of course it is summer, so someone probably got their kids' bouncy castle out of the shed and then found that their blowing machine had stopped working, so they ordered a replacement. Right, how many have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Right, one more. In E1 we have a genuine Dyson roller. E1. Down here. Here we are. Probably needs a little bit of a wipe down before that goes out, but that sold for £25.89. So yeah, all of this going to be packed up and shipped out today. Good thing is, when I went to the drop-off, I could see in the room and it was empty. So that is good, because sometimes what happens, let's say for example I pull 30 orders, I'll ship 20 and I'll take them down and they get put at the back. Then the courier guy comes and he can only take 15 of them, so 5 of my items are still in there. The next morning I come with another 20 and they go in front of the 5. Courier guy comes back, takes 15. Now I've got 5 of today's still left and 5 of the day before still left. And then he'll pick them all up the third day. So the first ones have sometimes been in there for 2 or 3 days because they get stuck at the back, and it's a nightmare, and it can really wreak havoc on the delivery days. And it's not the place's fault, they just have a really small cramped room and stuff just gets put to the back. They really need to work on like some sort of rotation, like the new stuff goes to the back, but of course you can't ask them to do that. It's just the way that they do things. It's annoying, but I do have to be mindful of that. So yeah, these 20 will go out today, but yeah, look at all this stuff I need to deal with. Got a weight bag, got a Sholly trolley, got a SIBO. I got another bear, that's good. Someone messaged me on YouTube about the FNAF teddies, but then they didn't get back to me, so I'm not sure if they want them. Got a soup machine, a kettle that needs to be checked. I got some cymbals, they're cool. Yeah, still got to deal with the mirrors, and then of course I have all of this stuff. Yeah, I got a lot to get on with this week, but it's Monday. By Friday all of this stuff will be on the shelf and hopefully listed. I've fallen way behind on my schedules. I'm down to 30. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump that back up to 130 today by delisting 100 of my longest active items, and then I'm going to schedule 10 a day from that over the next however many days for 100 of them. That will give me a little bit of buffer room to then get some new stuff listed, scheduled behind that stuff. It's a good way of keeping yourself up, and it's also rotating my stock that is listed, making sure it's not listed for too long. When it's relisted, it is done as sell similar rather than relist, because then it gets a new item number and it completely goes down as a fresh listing. Whereas if you just click relist, it just puts it back up under the same item number and everything, so it doesn't get any sort of boost. So do make sure that you click the sell similar buttons. It keeps all your photos and all the titles and everything, so don't worry about that. But yeah, it's just recommended to do that rather than click relist, which I know a lot of people do because they just don't know, or they, you know, don't agree or whatever. But yeah, even eBay themselves have told me to click sell similar at these like eBay open events and stuff, so it is obviously worth trying that rather than just relisting straight. Also picked up this for my mate. I believe he's built some sort of pub in his back garden, and he's after those to hang on the wall, so that was cool. But yeah, other than that, I have a Dyson that's doing a handstand. As you can see, the roller was broken, so I've ordered a replacement for £10. It's actually over here. The bearing had burnt out, so that was no good. But that Dyson cost me £10, and it cost me £9.99 for a replacement roller set. Other than that, it's perfect working condition. So for £20, I'll get about 80 to 90 out of this machine, which is great. So nice little profit there as well. So if you got this far into the video, use the word bestow in the comments down below in a sentence, so that I know that you have made it to the end of the video and you enjoyed it. If you did, also leave a like and subscribe. Also guys, I know I'm asking for a lot right now, but do click the little bell, because I think only like 12% of my subscribers have the notification bell turned on. It just means that you'll get notifications for my videos as soon as they go out, so you can watch them before everyone else. And obviously that helps out the algorithm as well. If everyone rushes to watch a video, it thinks, oh, this is a hot video, quick, recommend it to more people. So it does really help. So if you can and you're willing to do so, please do click notifications, turn them all on. Just for my channel, you don't have to do it for anyone else, you know, just do it for me. Thank you, appreciate it. But yeah, thank you everyone, and I'll see you guys very shortly with the next video. I will be doing a packing video this week, and yeah, car boot videos will continue as normal. Bye.